What's up, buddy? How you been? It's been a while. I hope you're doing good. Hope you're having a fun Thanksgiving or Black Friday shopping weekend, whatever it is you're doing. And while you're out there, why don't you pick up the Blu-rays of the Star Wars sequel trilogy? Don't do that. Don't. I have a Blu-ray copy of Rise of Skywalker somewhere. I can't even give that thing away. And why? Well, guys, because, I mean, it's a dead horse, and we've beat it a million times, but we're going to keep beating it here. The sequel trilogy was a disaster. The sequel trilogy came along. We were all excited to see the return of our favorite heroes. Look, there's Luke Skywalker, there's Leia, Han Solo's coming back, and it's just completely dropped the ball in ways that I have detailed in how much content do I have talking about this? If you want to know how I feel about the sequel trilogy, if you haven't figured it out by now, I don't like it. Okay? But there's one name that comes up attached to the sequel trilogy a lot, and I'm kind of mixed about how I feel about it. That name is Kathleen Kennedy. Now, Kathleen Kennedy took over as president of Lucasfilm, former producer working under Steven Spielberg, so she had everything it should have took to get the job done. But she had this crazy idea, and the crazy idea was, well, get JJ. Honestly, her first idea was a safe idea. Let's get JJ Abrams for the first one. Smart, not great, not like, maybe should have had somebody really look at that script. I know you had Lawrence Kasdan write it, but he kind of phoned it in. But sure, you went safe with the first one. But then she started thinking, and I think she was trying to replicate. I always tell people the grand age of the Hollywood studio system when young guys like George Lucas and Spielberg and Coppola or whatever were coming in and doing whatever they want. She said, let me get this guy Rian Johnson and let him do whatever he wants. And then it went off the rails. And it went so far off the rails that she said, God, let's get J.J. Abrams back. And the whole time you go, why didn't you just come up with a plan, you dumb lady? Why didn't you have a plan for Star Wars? And we're now at the point where it does feel like Star Wars it still has no plan. We get shows like Mandalorian and Boba Fett, which are very, by-the-book action thrillers. Mandalorian's solid. Boba Fett was terrible. Now we're getting Andor, which is like something else entirely. It's like a cerebral drama. It's dark and depressing. I kind of love it. But it kind of feels like there is no overarching brand strategy, which is why this rumor, I'm giving it a little bit credence. So often we hear from YouTubers, we hear Kathleen Kennedy's getting fired next month. She's getting fired next week. She's getting fired tomorrow. We've been hearing this for years now. It's never coming true. Well, the rumor now is that Kathleen Kennedy is finally going to be out at Lucasfilm. And I'm going to tell you why this time I think it might actually be for real. But before we get into that story, there's one question you all keep asking me. You all keep saying, Vito, where do you get those awesome graphic t-shirts? Well, my friends, the answer is Into the AM. Now, Into the AM, they're an apparel company. They make all sorts of things, but what I love most are their awesome graphic t-shirts. I actually have a bunch of them in my closet because they're sick. Why do you want to be one of these guys who wears brand logos on your friggin' chest? Do you really need a Coca-Cola t-shirt? Wouldn't you rather have a t-shirt with actual cool designs made by real artists? Look at these shirts. These are sick. You need this in your life. Amp up your wardrobe with the good boys at Into the AM. They've always got great deals going on, such as 3 graphic t-shirts for just $60. But let's be real, it's Black Friday, people. 30% off across the whole site, up to 80% off on select items. And that's on top of, if you use my personal link, you're going to save an additional 10%. They're giving these things away. Get a god-dang t-shirt, you idiot. So again, check out Into the AM for their big Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale. Save an additional 10% off all the savings by using my link in the description. Get yourself some awesome graphic t-shirts, hoodies, whatever you want. You're not going to regret it. And now let's talk about the death of Kathleen Kennedy's career. Not good news for her. All right. So this information is coming to us from a very interesting source. Do you guys follow John Campea? Some people love this guy. Some people hate this guy. But let's be real. This is not like a Doomcock or an RK Outpost, some guy who just makes stuff up for clicks. This is a guy who has legitimately been a Hollywood journalist for more than a decade. He has connections. He has the inside scoop. And he really digs into these stories. He's not going to release anything without getting the actual story. And what our good friend John Campea said is that an insider from Disney has said that as part of the Bob Iger takeover that we just saw, CEO, well, aren't they both Bob? Bob Chapek steps down so Bob Iger can step in. Anyway, as part of that, that Kathleen Kennedy has got to go. And it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. Let's get this story real quick. Now, as we said, Kennedy got her start in Amblin Entertainment along with Steven Spielberg, worked on E.T., Jurassic Park, worked with George Lucas on Indiana Jones, The Temple of Doom. That's how she kind of found her way into Lucasfilm. She was a proven entity. I mean, a lot of mean people want to say, oh, I don't know, she slept her way to the top or something crazy like that. No, this is a lady who has helped make, billions of dollars at the box office. She seems like she should be a smart, capable lady. I just think she didn't understand Star Wars. Not to be sexist, Star Wars is like a very male-centric franchise. It's all about guys grunting and, lightsabers and magic powers, and I don't know, it's for boys. It's like a boys' club. It's hard for a woman to enter that space and completely understand it. I think there are women who could, but I think maybe Kathleen Kennedy, stuff like E.T. and Jurassic Park, which was kind of more all genders, maybe that would have been more her style. Maybe I'm being sexist. Maybe Star Wars is for everybody. I just always got the feeling that you needed a guy at the top who understood the exciting bravado of kids wanting to be a hero and swinging a sword around. Okay, now, according to Insider John Campea on his YouTube show, and here's the quote, I have heard that the decision to remove Kathy Kennedy has already been made. She will be gone sometime before or very, very shortly thereafter the release of Indiana Jones 5. Indiana Jones 5, I assume, is being done under the Lucasfilm banner as well. Now, Campea says this change was made after the recent changes to the Disney hierarchy. Again, Bob Iger coming out of retirement. That would mean that Kathleen Kennedy's exit, if it's to come after Indiana Jones, would come early 2023, which is, wow, wait, when? No, hold on. May 2023. Wow, Indiana Jones comes out that soon? I didn't realize Indiana Jones was right around the corner. My God. The decision to remove Kennedy surprised Campea, who says he heard about this decision from 2 different sources. But Campea thought the return of Iger would have given Kennedy more security given their relationship at Disney together. Well, that's the thing, is that it does seem like Kathleen Kennedy and Bob Iger were kind of good friends, that he kind of backed her up here and there. Let me see if there's a picture of them together. But I think even he knows that Star Wars and Lucasfilm, look at these guys, they're best friends. I think even he knows Star Wars has just been bungled, that they don't have a plan for it. The only people who seem to have any sort of plan are guys like Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, guys who have been with the brand and loved the brand. You never really got the feeling from Kathleen Kennedy that she loved Star Wars. You never hear her talk about, oh, I love Empire, oh, I love Return of the Jedi. I don't think she has that bleeding passion for the franchise. Some people might say, well, that's good. That means she can make, bold, new creative decisions. And I do think there is some of that to be said, but I think ultimately at the heart, she just did not understand Star Wars. I think right now it is a franchise that is floundering, that they don't know what they're doing. Even Andor, which people like, is struggling in the ratings. I don't know if you saw this, but they're going to start putting episodes of Andor on Hulu because they can't get anyone to watch it. Hulu subscribers can now stream the first 2 episodes of Andor. That's not good. That means that they're desperate to get people watching this thing over on Disney Plus, or at least that's the way I understand it. So, it seems that Bob Iger is going to come in. I think this could also, though, be, let's be clear. Some people are going to say she's being fired. I don't know. I don't know if this is her being fired, or I don't know if this is her saying, you know what, this is a very stressful job. I get a lot of flack. I get a lot of fans calling me horrible names. I won't say what names they've called her. It's too much pressure. And I've already made however many $1 million from doing it. What do I have left to prove? Or is it really my job to save fucking Star Wars? It's possible she just wants out. She's after Indiana Jones. I'm happy. And let's be clear. She presided over a trilogy of films, each of which cleared $1 billion at the box office. So you could say she destroyed Star Wars or whatever else, but in the eyes of Hollywood, she's still a golden goose. It's still, Kathleen Kennedy can find a job somewhere else. She knows how to produce movies. Solo was a bomb. She has a couple bombs under her belt, but ultimately she did not completely destroy Star Wars. I don't know how you would have completely destroyed Star Wars, and obviously I think she completely destroyed Star Wars, But in terms of the box office results, I think she's still kind of a golden child in Hollywood. I think she could move on to something good. I could be wrong. Maybe people really do see this fan backlash and just do not like this lady. But either way, she gets out of this situation with probably like, I don't know, $50 million just for being the head of Lucasfilm. I mean, she probably gets a golden parachute of like 20 million just for getting fired. So Kathleen's gonna be fine. And I don't know. This rumor sounds true to me. What the future of Star Wars looks like without Kathleen Kennedy at the helm. Do you trust Jon Favreau to take it over? I love Jon Favreau, but he's kind of feeling a bit more like a fanboy. I feel like Jon Favreau's not the kind of guy who could have got something like Andor done. I don't want Star Wars to be complete just fanboy nonsense and backflip. I think Boba Fett showed us the worst Star Wars can be, when it's all just fan service and cameos and who cares. I still think it hasn't found the right balance. I don't know who's right to take it over, but maybe you'll have an idea. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think. Do you think it's time for Kathleen Kennedy to move on? Do you have any ideas of who should take over Star Wars? Or if there is any saving Star Wars at this point? Or are we just so tired of it? Are the Andor ratings in the dumpster because just nobody can be bothered to give two shits about Star Wars? It's a very confusing time for the franchise. We'll see if Disney and Lucasfilm figure it out, but ultimately, they're not in a great place with the Star Wars franchise. Good luck!